Yo, 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 what's up, peoples? This your man AG Got Beats, back with another More Than Beats podcast. I got my man Billy Blast. Say what's up to the people, B.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Billy Blast, back with my man AG Got Beats again. More Than Beats podcast back at you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So again, man, we just gonna get right into it, man. We don't really do a whole lot of fluff around here right now. So this week right here, we're gonna be talking about producers with the family. You know, both of us have families. Both of us, you know, have people to take care of and look up to us for, I guess responsibilities. So without further ado, what do you do? You know, what do you look for in, you know, a spouse as far as just trying to get situated with production and not, just start right there, man. What kind of spouse do you need?
You know, if you don't already have somebody, I would definitely recommend, well, not even a recommendation, because you can't put like stipulations on who you love. You know what I'm saying?
Who you love, right.
But also, you know, sometimes it helps when you and your significant other have an understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
from the beginning.
Right.
From the beginning, because even from the beginning, you know what I mean? Things could still get a little hairy, as it will. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As it will. But I would definitely recommend, you know, take the time and find somebody that kind of enjoys some of the things that you do, and you enjoy some of the things that your significant other does, just so there's no rocky roads, and there's kind of a foundation coming in to the relationship, knowing, you know what I'm saying, that this is what, you know, I do, and this is what one does, this is what the other one does, and then y'all can take them and put them together and try to come up with some type of common ground to where everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and
go ahead.
And that's not even, you know, just a producer's, from a producer standpoint, man. That's just, you know, relationships in general.
Period.
It's very good to find somebody that y'all have things in common with. Now, and sometimes y'all might, you know, stumble upon something that neither one of y'all knew y'all liked. You know what I'm saying? And I think with producing, you gotta have somebody that's supportive. You know, like your wife has to, even if she don't like music or like the type of style that you do, she has to be supportive of, you know, what you're doing and believe in you, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have to have somebody that's gonna stand there by your side while you go through this bullshit in the industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's definitely a point, because it has to be more understanding and standing by you, not what you do, because what you do is going to become a conflict of interest at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? But as long as she understands you and y'all have an agreement and y'all have a common ground, that makes it a lot better, because, you know, there's going to be times, and it's a lot different now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Coming up, there was, you know, it was the studio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the studio, and you know what I mean? You know, listen, after 6 months in the studio and ain't shit popping yet, like how many damn nights you gonna be in the studio, man?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes they gotta see, you know, the progress too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, and I'll be honest, like first starting out, like my wife was supportive of what I did, but she didn't really understand it. You know what I'm saying? And the understanding came when it's a couple of phases, man. So like when you first start out making beats and stuff like that, and you got a family or whatever type of creative thing you're doing, you have to find like a means to maintain. You know what I'm saying? To kind of keep your significant other, I don't want to say off your back, but you know, you still gotta bring in some type of bacon in the house. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be like, yo, I'm in the studio and not doing shit.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Justify the means at some point.
Right. So I think after you get past that point where they see that you about the family life, you doing what you got to do to make it happen, and then you also putting in the work into things that you love to do on the side. I think they become more understanding and more supportive over the years. You know what I'm saying? And to the point where, go ahead.
And also too, don't be scared to have them included in what you do. You know what I'm saying? When you go into the studio, take them to the studio with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At least
Yeah.
at least introduce them to it, and then give them the option to choose if they want to deal with that or not.
Right. Yeah. And I've learned that too, man. The more I include my wife, she feels like she's a part of things,
Yeah,
and it makes it easier for me to just go and do what
definitely
I need
has
to
a
do. You know what I'm saying?
definitely have a better understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because and this is just for like guys coming up, and some guys that have been doing it, producers that have been doing it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? In their minds, we just in there bullshitting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna call it what it is. We just in there bullshitting, certain situations, smoking and drinking, chopping it up with your friends, just playing fucking loud music all night. You understand what I'm
Right,
saying?
especially if they're not seeing any income coming from it, or they're not seeing any type of, placements and shit like that.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't know the work that you got to put in before things start popping. You know what I'm saying? And that's including your family
Right.
members.
So I would definitely, you know what I'm saying, have them be inclusive. And then also too, you know what I mean, what'll be good in that type of situation is set yourself up some type of solid structure. You know what I'm saying? Where, this is the time that you're going to be there. This is the time that you're going to be home. This is the time that y'all going to do what y'all going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sundays is family time, unless, you know what I mean? Somebody's like, yo, listen, I got X amount of dollars. I need a session on Sunday, because even if Sunday is family time, depending on what the situation is for family time, you know what I'm saying? That money going to talk a little louder. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. That's actually a great point, man. And you mentioned something about going to the studio, but nowadays, we could do everything in-house or in our homes.
Right.
What do you feel, or how do you feel about having like a designated place to work? I think that's real, significant in working from home.
Very, very important. Very important.
Right.
Now, I think that's very important because of two reasons. So one reason is it's important to have, but it's also like a catch-22. So I'm going to jump into both parts here. So the first part is having some place to work and produce is dope. You know what I'm saying? Because, it gives you the mental space and the freedom to be creative. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now the flip side to that is, you know what I'm saying, it requires you to not be home and be out a lot. You know what I mean? Now you take that story and flip that over. So now, you have to go out, and you out all the time. You always in the studio. Okay, cool. So now I get a little setup at home. So now when you get a setup, now you have the setup at home. But now what happens is with the setup at home, now the music is too loud.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you have to, set your equipment up in the living room. But what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a situation where it's going to cause some type of friction, and then it might not cause friction. But at some point, it's going to cause some type of friction because of the fact that you're going to have to be in there focused, making music and all of that, which requires a certain, capacity of thought process. So, you can't, somebody's knocking on the door like, hey, can you take the ground turkey out the freezer for me? It's like, come on, god damn it, don't you see me in here trying to make a beat? Now you got ground turkey on your mind. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, it's kind of like a catch-22, but having a place to work outside of your home, even if you do have a home studio, having a place outside of your home to work is it's a 50-50 thing, because it gives you the creative space to work. But then again, that's where the balance comes into play.
Right. And then that goes back to how supportive your spouse is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Because it all depends. Maybe she wants you to be in the house a lot. Maybe she wants you to be going a lot. Maybe when you leave, y'all might not have that trust thing going on. She think you out, fucking other hoes and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just all depends on your relationship with your spouse.
And see, and with that being said, that's where, we double back and connect with, you understand what I'm saying? Make your spouse or your significant other a part of what it is that you're doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that shit knocks all of the other speculation out. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying?
All
Like
right.
now, even, you know, I've been in studio sessions where, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the artist only likes to vibe when there's women and people around. You know what I'm saying? They just pick up that vibe.
Right.
But see, now what happens is when your phone rings and then you're on the phone with your boo-boo and you're like, hey, what's going on, love? You know what I'm saying? She's like, what you doing? Oh, you know, I'm just working on this record right now. But in the back, she hear, can I have some rock? She's like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on over there? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But see, now, you know, if she's a part of what it is that you're doing, then she understands what, you know what I'm saying, the atmosphere in the background is like. Because listen, you was just here last week. You see what's going on in here. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So that also plays a part in it. Just to double back with it, it definitely makes sense to have your significant other to be a part of it. Because at some point in time, you're gonna experience some shit like I did. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be out in the studio all the time, you know what I mean?
Right.
Then you're gonna have a conflict at home because you gotta be at home. But then what happens is you're gonna make you're gonna carve out some space at home to make your music, you know what I'm saying? But then the music is gonna be loud, and then she's gonna flip the script on you and be like, yo, don't you gotta go to like a studio somewhere or something?
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
Like, that's the reason why I got all this shit in here now, and so I didn't have to go, but that shit too loud, man. Don't you gotta, didn't you say AG called you and said y'all had a session? Don't you gotta go to the studio or something?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's kind of where that work-life balance come into play.
Yeah,
man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, definitely.
And so just kind of, you know, take that and lead into the next thing is like, when you have your significant other and you spending family time and things like that, how do you set up time to work on your craft? Because you know we got to put in, you know, 10,000 hours to become good or great at anything. So where do you find the time when you married or with your significant other and kids to actually work on your craft?
And that's where you, you know, that's where you look at that 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? And say like, all right, if this is something that you really want, you know what I'm saying? It's 24 hours a day, and it's broke up into 4 quarters. You know what I'm saying? 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Break it up into quarters. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, 4 hours might be put to this, but you can't really put a time limit on creativity, and you can't put a time limit on family time.
Nah, you can't do
Because
that
then
either.
then you put yourself in a position where you're playing tug of war, where something is going to have to give. So I would say with that, you know what I'm saying? What I learned how to do was I learned how to use my surroundings to my benefit. You know what I'm saying? So okay, if I am working in the studio or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, bring the kids in there, have the kids record something funny and sample it and use it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Or bring your wifey in there and, or your girlfriend or whatever, and have her say a few things on the mic, sample her or something. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you gotta carve that time out, and you know, you can't take away from one to give to another, because of the fact that, again, it'll create a problem. So what I would say in that sense is definitely look at it as what it is that you want to do, you know what I'm saying, and carve out time to do what it is that you want to do, but make sure everything has its own place. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's time for family, you understand what I'm saying? Don't be doing music shit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
But on the flip side of that, it's like, I hear what you're saying, but it's like, okay, so if you don't do music stuff when family time is going on, you never can tell when inspiration hits. So how do you couple that with family time, and then maybe like, you know, do you hum a melody in your phone and record it, or you know what I'm saying?
All of that goes into play. And I mean, we have iPhones and iPads and all of that stuff today. You know what I'm saying? You get you an idea, you can sketch something out in your phone or on your iPad real quick or something. You know what I mean? You could put the mic in or hum the melody in your phone and all of that, and email it to yourself and then get back to it later. There's plenty of ways like that with technology today. You know what I'm saying? To be able to execute like some ideas if you happen to get inspired during the Transformers movie. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and again, with the phones and all of that, like, yeah, that's easy. But, you know, I wouldn't say if it's family time, you know what I'm saying, you sitting at the table with the damn MPC on the table. You You know what I'm saying?
Right. You going overboard.
Yeah, that's a little overboard. But you know, with technology, man, you know what I'm saying? Listen, oh man, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. You know what I mean? Going is they say this is a big win. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you know, do you boom back beats or your sample or whatever real quick on your phone or something and just jot it down or just have some type of record of it and then get back to it later. But you know, with technology, that it makes it really easy to do that type of stuff.
Right. Nah, yeah. And then also, man, like, it's just I can't say it enough. It goes back to your significant other supporting what you do. You know, like you said, you might not cut into family time, but you might get an inspiration and you want to, you know, hurry up and hum some. Well, again, she's probably going to know what you're doing. And as long as she ain't like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you know, you supposed to be here giving me your undivided attention. Like, why you still doing that? Again, they gotta, you know, support what you're doing. Like, okay, I know what you're doing. It's gonna take about 2-3 minutes. Go ahead and knock that out. Come on, right back. You know what I'm saying?
Or if you hear that melody, what you could do is you could say, "Hey, look, hold on a second. Damn, that just gave me some inspiration. I got this melody. Hey, baby, come here for a second. Hum this in here for just. You don't have to say no words. Just hum this, and then you understand what I'm saying. And that also connects to, you know, having them be a part of what it is, so it doesn't feel like, you know, that's pulling away from the time with them also. Because then, you know, it's funny because, you know, you play it back like, yo, you hear that? Boy, if you don't turn that off, you know what I'm saying? But then when you go and sample it and make it something, it's like, oh wow, that's pretty dope. Yeah, you know, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Again, connects with, you know, having them be a part of it. Because once your significant other gets to a point of, well, listen, it's either you're going to be here or you're going to be in the studio. You got serious problems on your hands.
Oh, hell yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now you got to make a decision.
Right. Yeah, you definitely don't ever want to get to that point.
And, you know and you're like, yo, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, damn, you know what I'm saying? I could always make beats. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could always get another lady too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But are you going to get another her? Are you going to make another beat like that?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, these things, you know, you got to balance these things out. But again, in this age that we live in with technology and, you know, communication is really, really key, man. Like, because as me being,
that's the most important
thing. Man. And as me being married, you understand what I'm saying, for many years, one thing that I have come to learn, and again, I'm no expert, I'm no Dr. Phil when it comes to none of this. I'm still learning how to do this day by day. You understand what I'm saying? But one thing that I did learn is that communication is key, because when you communicate with your significant other for whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? It gives them the option to deal with it or not.
Right.
Which is, you know what I'm saying? From my experience personally, which is the most that you could do in that situation. Because what'll happen is that, you know what I'm saying? You find yourself in a situation where it was like, damn, well, you didn't even ask me if I wanted to be involved in it. You didn't even give me the, you know what I'm saying? You didn't even give me the option to say yes or no.
Yeah. And I've dealt with that. I still deal with that to this day too.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? It's a constant learning process, man. Trying to include, you know, your significant other in all aspects of your life. You know what I'm saying? And that'll make your relationship a lot stronger. You know what I'm saying? So
and it's not just only with you know, it's not only with music. You understand what I'm saying? It covers the whole board. Like I don't mind taking my wife with me nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? Because I tell you this, at the end of the day, when the lights go out and I gotta look to my left, she's gonna be the only one standing there. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever I'm into, you have all exclusivity and you included in whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that you know exactly what it is. So now when I have to be here for 2 or 3 days, or you understand what I'm saying? For instance, listen, me and AG, you know, we got this, there's an event going on in Florida and we gonna be there for 7 days. She already know what the deal is. You
Right,
understand what I'm
right. And then another thing too, B, is like, you know, allowing your significant other to meet the people that you hang out with, and allowing them to form some type of, not judgment, but just to know that the people you hang out with ain't about the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that continues on with the trust issue and the support. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man, definitely.
So just like, you know, say that we and you was hanging out and I was always hollering at people, you know, hollering at girls and shit like that, and your wife knew
She's
that.
gonna be like, you
I
ain't
don't
going
think
to
it would
no
be
damn
as
with
cool.
that damn AG.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah,
Right.
man, yeah. And that
So-
helps, man. That helps, man.
Right. So yeah, and I guess you can couple that with, like, you know, the company that you in. You know, you don't have to necessarily be with, you know, other married men and things like that, but just people that respect their significant others. You know what I'm saying? You're not hanging out with people that's not in the same situation you
And
in.
I
You know what I'm
have
saying?
friends like that. I have friends that, you know what I'm saying, aren't married, you know what I mean, deal with, you know what I'm saying, deal with a lot of different women and all of that, you know what I mean? But, you know, well, at this stage, you know what I'm saying, at this stage in the game, you know what I mean, I'm way past that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't got no time, no energy to be going through none of that.
Right. You're trying to do too many other things, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely not
And that makes a lot of sense, you know what I mean? Wifey meets, or your significant other meets, you know, people that you be around. She know who is who. She's a pretty good judge of character. You understand what I'm saying? So she's like, oh, well, I know he going with him, but you know what I mean? He always talking to girls, but you know, I'm the one that reels him back in like, yo, my man, focus, man, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So, but and that helps a lot, man. You know, introducing, you know what I mean, your wife to who, or your significant other to who you be rocking and rolling with, man. So she has a judge of what's going on.
Hell yeah, you already know.
Word.
But you know, that's gonna conclude this episode right here, man. If y'all checking this out, please leave a comment. Let us know, you know, your tactics to keeping your relationship and your family life together while you're doing your music and production. We want to know. Drop a comment. You can follow us anywhere at AG Got Beats. Follow my man Billy Blast at Billy Blast all over the place. You got anything you want to say before we get out of here, B?
Nah, man, that's it, man. More Than Beats podcast, you know what I'm saying? Leave a comment, holler at us, let us know. Like AG said, you know, hit us up on the social medias and all of that. Don't forget to follow at Maschine Masters on Instagram. And that's it, man. More Than Beats podcast.
See y'all next week.